All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is logical operators. We use logical operators for combining two or more Boolean expressions or conditions. For example, let's declare a variable called age and set it to 20. Then we declare a Boolean called isEligible and set it to age greater than 18. And finally, let's print this on the terminal using bool alpha. So when we run this, we get true because age is greater than 18. Great. But what if we also want to check to see if age is less than 65? This is when we use the logical AND operator to add a second condition or a second Boolean expression, which is age less than 65. So with the AND operator, if both these conditions or both these expressions are true, then the result is true. If either of these conditions is false, then the result, which is eligible, is going to be false. For example, if we change age to 10, obviously the first expression is going to evaluate to false. So it doesn't matter what we have on the other side of the AND operator. The result of this entire expression is going to be false. In fact, for efficiency, when evaluating this expression, C++ starts from left to right. Because the first expression is false, again, it doesn't matter what we have on the other side of the AND operator. So C++ is going to stop evaluation right here. So now if you run our program, we see false, okay? Now, in contrast to the AND operator, we have the OR operator, which is two vertical bars. Now with this, if either of these conditions is true, then the result of this entire expression is true. So in this case, the first condition is false because age is not greater than 18. It's 10, right? But the second condition is always true. That is why we have this little warning here, because this entire expression is always true. So again, if we run our program, we see true, okay? Now we have another logical operator called the NOT operator, which we use to reverse a Boolean value. So if isEligible is true, by applying this operator, we reverse it, so it's going to become false. Now take a look. There you go, okay? So these are the three logical operators we have. We can use and combine them in any way we want. We are not limited to two conditions or two expressions. Here's an example. Let me change the age back to 20 and use the AND operator here. So we want to make sure someone is between 18 and 65, and their salary is also greater than 30,000. So we declare another variable called salary. We set it to 50,000. And note that I'm using a single quote to separate the 1,000 digits. Now over here, we can add a third condition. So salary greater than 30,000. So here we have three conditions. Now, while not required, for clarity, it's better to wrap the first two conditions in parentheses because the first two conditions are only about the age, whereas the third condition is about something else. Now, in this case, we don't have to wrap this expression in parentheses, but for consistency, I would prefer to do so. This makes our code a little bit easier to our eyes. So now we can immediately see that we have two major conditions. The first one is about the age. The second one is about the salary. And again, we don't have to use AND operators here. We can combine these operators any way we want, depending on what problem you're trying to solve. For example, if we use the OR operator here, that means someone has to be either between 18 to 65, or their salary should be greater than 30,000, which doesn't really make sense in the real life, but you got the point.